If someone listening is like just thinking, I'd love to be a quack. I'd love to just make the most of the algorithm and cash in. Like, what steps? What kind of things would they want to kind of embody?
Yeah,
Quack University.
Yeah. No, so
I'm being serious. There might be someone listening who's thinking,
for anyone listening that wants to be a quack, I actually did a post on this recently on Instagram. So there's a few habits you want, right? So the first one is you want to actually just read around the current evidence and figure out what like the consensus is or what like the current evidence, because you need to just say the opposite, right?
Okay.
That's the first thing, is just be a total contrarian.
Habit number one.
Exactly.
Or
habit
quabbit.
number
Let's
one.
call it a quabbit.
Quack it number one.
Quack.
And then quack it number two is once people say, hang on, you're just like being a complete contrarian, you then have to portray them and the system as the problem, right?
So you need to brainwash their sleep.
Yeah, you need to portray yourself as like the maverick that kind of operates like outside the system. Exactly. You know, they're trying to silence me. You know, it's nothing to do with your nonsensical arguments or otherwise. So it's just the fact that the conventional system, you know, or quote unquote Western medicine can't handle, you know, the truth you've figured out. And then quack it number three is you need to actually, and Mark Hyman did this really well, is you kind of start out small with really uncontroversial statements like, hey, vegetables are good for you.
Yeah.
And you get this like buy-in of, oh, they seem to be just kind of sensible. And then once people actually think you're like a little bit sensible or credible, then you just bait and switch, right? And then you're just like, just eat meat, like, or whatever it is. And yeah, I call that move the Hyman. So like just lure people in and then completely go off the reservation once they actually think you're kind of credible. And then you need to gaslight everyone. This is like quack it number 4, right? So this is your get out. So anytime then people challenge you and they say, hang on, this is misinformation. You are like giving out the wrong, you just say, well, where's the harm? You know, I'm trying to help people. So basically you frame any batshit claim that you have and you try and put a little bit of sensibility on it, and you just try and portray it always as like, where's the harm? I'm just trying to help people with good information.
Look at all these people it worked for.
And then quack it number 5 is you need to, this ties to like, you know, the whole idea that the system, you need to like be outside it, you know, because the conventional system is all broken, is you need to like constantly reference this kind of omnipresent, omnipotent, but completely ill-defined enemy. You know, they don't want you. They want you to eat the guidelines. They want you to follow their advice. They want you to do this, that, and the other. And of course, we're going to tell you to do exactly the opposite of what they want you to do. And then quack it number
There's a lot of quack it.
There's 7. Quack it number 6. Take the pyramid of evidence and overturn it.
Yeah.
Right? So now the lowest level of evidence becomes stronger than like meta-analysis, prospective cohort studies, randomized trials. You want to rely on like rodent studies. Just find a mechanism or anything.
Or a case study in that example.
Individual anecdote, anything, any shred of lower quality information that confirms your preconceived bias is like better information than what's out there.
Actually, a true case study would be published at least in some sort of journal. So that's like not even a real case study.
Well, I mean, that Mark Hyman post, I think I only saw it today and I left a comment. I would love to see Mark Hyman present that actual case study. Bring it up, mate.
Publish it.
No, but publishing it is goes against the
of course. Oh, sorry.
The non-published
becoming scientific.
A non-published case study is better than a published case study
because publishing is part of the system.
Right.
They want you to think it's published. And then quack it. The final quack it is you just start becoming an expert in everything.
Yes.
Right. So maybe you start out in like nutrition or exercise or whatever, but then you basically just start taking a contrarian position on anything.
Vaccines, COVID.
I can't believe how many folks from nutrition became COVID experts.
Virologists.
And I still get messages about, why don't you comment on COVID? And
because you stay in your lane.
I know nothing about it.
But it's also, it's really funny. Well, one of the things that happened during COVID is that the real kind of peak of certainly the low carb, LDL, cholesterol denialism, quackery broke during COVID because all of the Asim Malhotra, Ivor Cummins, any of them all jumped off low carb cholesterol denialism to jump on COVID denialism and vaccine and anti-vaccine. So it's like,
That's another quack.
That's a
right.
telltale
And if you
there.
look at, so like David Robert Grimes's book, The Irrational Ape, is so good for highlighting like the cognitive underpinnings of conspiracy thinking. And one of the points from that really stuck with me was that the biggest predictor of someone holding a conspiratorial belief is having a conspiratorial belief. So they tend to cluster, even if they're contradictory, right? And nothing confirmed to me that kind of like that movement is actually a conspiracy theory movement than seeing them all jump from cholesterol denialism and like heart disease, saturated fat revisionism to like COVID skepticism and anti-vaccine stances. And I was like, oh, you guys are transparent.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see right through you now.